Hey guys, welcome to Bumblebees Gaming. I'm Bumble. We're going to go over some settings in your Adrenaline software for your AMD Radeon graphics card. We're going to go over some settings for gaming, recording, and live streaming. So I hope you're excited. I am a little bit because I don't think I've done something like this before. And we're going to start it off real quick. Bear with me. And please, if you're not subscribed, subscribe for more content like this. If you like the video and it helps you out, it helps me out if you hit the like button. So let's get on with that first. First off, you have to have an AMD graphics card for these settings. This doesn't work on anything but AMD. And you need the Adrenaline edition for this stuff. Not anything else, because I'm using the Adrenaline software, so this doesn't help you if you have another software like Crimson or something. So here we go. You'll notice this little left screen here. It's your Radeon symbol. That little red dot, little red box should be on your home page on your main screen in your computer when you open it up, or on your taskbar, depending on how you set it up. I have mine on my taskbar. So in there, you go to it, and you'll see a cogwheel on the right side here. It's your settings. You hit that, and it takes you to this page here, which is your system. And I'm going to go over this kind of quickly, just to help those out that really don't know about this, and maybe refresh some of the old people that do know about this, maybe refresh some stuff in their minds. So from left to right, top to bottom, here we go. I check my updates pretty much regularly. I have it on automatic. You could do it for manual. I have mine on automatic, but I download my drivers myself because I don't want it running in the background while I'm gaming. Most of the time we have to reset this anyway. So I'd rather do it before I game, and if I have to download new software, I will do it myself and then reset my computer, and then I'll be able to go. As far as my software version on right here, I go with recommended only from now on. I used to do recommended and optional, but to be honest with you, the optional is really buggy, and it causes my screen to flash when I download those drivers, and I think something's wrong with the GPU, and it's really not. It's just the software I downloaded that was optional, and for some reason it just does buggy stuff. So I just started sticking with recommended only. It's just better to do that. So we're going to go down more to the issue reporting and issue detection. I have that off. I do not want anything running in the background, because while I'm gaming, why would I have something running in the background when I need all that processing and GPU power for my gaming? That's why I don't have my drivers running in the background, and I don't want my detection system, whether it be AMD, Windows, Google, whatever it is, running in the background. I have everything off. On your right side, top right and bottom right, you will see your hardware. I have an AMD Radeon RX 6700 XT. It's actually a Red Devil power color, and it tells you right here all of your GPU settings and your model numbers. Not your settings, your model numbers, excuse me. And in there, you also will see on your drivers in your computer, your driver version that you're currently running right here, your Windows driver version, everything all the way down to here, your audio drivers, everything. And your Windows system. I know some people are like, well, I can't find my Windows edition. Well, you can go to your graphics card and it'll tell you right here what you're running, and then it'll tell you what version of Windows you are running underneath. And then you have my CPU power or your CPU stats here too. And as you can see, I'm running a 75800X 8 core. It is not the 3D version. It doesn't say 3D version. This is the older version. And then you go down and you see 8 cores, 16 thread. And for me, I have 32 gigabytes, which I'm kind of debating about raising that to 64, or maybe just going 128. I haven't decided yet because I'm video editing and I need a little more memory. And that's all my settings for the front page of my system and my knowledge content in case you want to play with your BIOS. Please remember this stuff when you're doing all that. I don't mess with the graphic card BIOS. I don't think I've really seen anybody do that. But if you are one of those guys that want to mess with your BIOS, do remember all this stuff right here, because you're going to need it when you're playing around with that. In my graphics setting, on my top screen here, you can see graphics is next. You have gaming, esports, power saving, standard, and custom. I used to go with gaming. I used to go with esports and gaming. Esports and gaming, I couldn't get it right, so I did custom. And I learned on my own what I needed to do for me, what works best for me. Some of these will work best for you, some of them won't, some of them you know, some of you I didn't even know. I might not know. Put it in the comments. But first, like the video and subscribe to the video so I could answer you back and we could have a good time, because I like doing content like this. In your top section here, you'll see what you have again, and you see Radeon Super Resolution. The best way I could explain this, lower your game settings to 1080p if you're on a 1440. If you're on a 4K, lower it to 2K, 2K lower it to 1080. You won't be losing as much visualization as you think, but what you're gaining is, and if you read this, is the frames. At least 10% frames, the minimum I gained when I have this on and I lower my in-game settings. So if I'm in Battlefield and I put my Battlefield video output settings to 1920 to 1080p, I'll have, instead of getting, I don't know what, 120 right I get right now at 1440, I'll get like 180, 190 in frames per second, 160, somewhere in that range, just by downscaling my game setting. So I thought that was very beneficial, very helpful. That's the new stuff that AMD has been working on and pushing out. And my sharpening effect applies to this. And I have it at 20. You could play with this. I go between 20 to 50, depending on what it is, what game I'm playing, and what I'm doing. So you play with it. And this really helps for that situation. So that's what that means right there for those of you that didn't understand. I have anti-lag off, chill, boost, image sharpening, and hand sync is on. My lag, chill, boost, and image sharpening is off. Now, why is anti-lag off? Okay. Anti-lag does not mean your internet lag. It's your input lag from your mouse through the computer to the game. That type of lag. Keyboard through the computer to the game. This setting is supposed to reduce the time it takes before I click a mouse button or a computer key or game controller on the computer until it reaches the game. Now we're talking milliseconds. We don't really pay attention to that. I only put this on if my graphics card is cranked up above 95%. For some reason, this kind of lowers the graphics card output. I don't know why. I don't know how. I didn't do any research on it that much. And my input lag will be reduced. When my graphics card is pushing really hard like that, 99%, 98%, over 96%, I'll put this on and my lags doesn't seem that prevalent in game. Why? I don't know. I don't really know the specifics of this, but that's just how it works. I have it off right now because I don't really do anything where my graphics card's pushing like that. And my lag, it works better for certain games when this is off, believe it or not. So you got to experiment with what game you're playing. I use Battlefield as an example because that's kind of what I play right now, the 2042 version. Sometimes I put it on, sometimes I put it off. It depends on what's going on in the game, how I'm feeling with the game, and what the graphics card is doing. Chill, boost, and image sharpening are all off. Now, image sharpening, I bring this up for a reason. I can't use that with super resolution. You can't have both of these on at the same time. Okay, just be with that. Enhanced sync, I have this version on because VSync sometimes messes me up. So I use the enhanced sync by Radeon. It seems to be really good with the latest version of these graphics cards with these 6000 series. This here has been working really well for me. So I use this instead of VSync. In the advanced section here, whoops, too far. My frame rate, I'm not limiting my frame rate. Why would I want to do that? I don't really know anybody that does that, so I keep it disabled. I keep my anti-aliasing on the application itself. I don't really see a need to play with that too much. Some guys might think so, but I don't think so. You can see here that if you read it, it tells you it's basically for Direct 9 applications. So there you go for your answer. Keep the application settings. It's not for 11 and it's not for 12. Multi-sampling, anti-aliasing method, I keep multi-sampling. That coincides with anti-aliasing, excuse me. Morphological anti-aliasing, I keep enabled. Filtering, I have off. Texture filtering quality, I have on performance. Let's see, subsurface format optimization, I have enabled. I have tessellation mode, AMD optimized. Triple buffering disabled. 10 pixel format, I want to talk about this one. You know, for the longest time, I had this on 8, and the reason I had this on 8 is because I just didn't know that my monitor was a 10-bit pixel monitor. And there is a setting in here that you can see what monitor it is. It's in your monitor settings. If you right click on your main page in your computer screen, in the middle of anywhere, and go to your display settings, you will see in there if you have an 8-bit or a 10-bit pixel format. And I have a 10-bit, so I enabled it. And I'd say to about 8 months ago, because this is a 2-year-old monitor, I had this on 8-bit. And I always was saying to myself, damn, AOC is a good monitor. I don't understand why my colors look a little dull, a little cloudy. Well, I realized, well, I'm the idiot. I didn't have it on 8-bit. So when I was playing around with the settings to get the maximum of my gaming, I put it on 10-bit. And I'm like, oh, wow, what an idiot. So just some of you might not realize that. Check your bit format, and you'll see for your display what you have, and then click it. So next one is reset shader cache. As you can see here, it clears the whole disk of your shader cache. Now, if you reset this like I did yesterday, this resets all your gaming shaders, and you start all over with what you set. Sometimes you might get some bugs with your shaders, or you might get some flashing with some shadows or something like that. Reset your shaders, and then when you go in game, whatever game it is, it's going to start logging them again and rebuilding your shader cache. Now, I'll remind you, if you're playing a game, don't expect to run into like Call of Duty or Battlefield or whatever you're playing and expect to have no lag whatsoever, because you just reset your shader cache. Your GPU is rebuilding your cache on that game, so it's going to be laggy, it's going to be spiky. You have to go through it because you're rebuilding your cache. It might be quick, it might take a game, it might take 2 games, but once it's done, you're good to go. Sometimes that helps with bugs and stuff. I reset it once in a while. If you build it up too much, it's always good to clear it out. All right, moving along, because some of you still didn't like and still didn't subscribe, and this video is long. My display settings, here we go. Now, here, you can see I have adaptive sync compatible, because that's what I have on my monitor. I have AMD FreeSync, play with it. GPU scaling, I do have enabled. You always want to keep it in full panel. Disabled for integer scaling. Color depth is 10-bit. Right here, and you could see I had it on 8-bit, but I have a 10-bit monitor, so I changed it to 10-bit. So in this setting here, in your display settings, when you change it, if you have a 10-bit monitor and you were running at 8 or 6 and you wonder why your monitor looks dull, well, here you go. Go to this setting, put it on whatever the monitor says, whatever Windows told you or whatever your monitor settings told you your monitor has, is what this should be. You go to this, you put it in, and then you go back to your graphics setting, or you start with your graphics setting, go to your advanced, and put in your 10-bit right here. It's already here, you just enable it, if you have a 10-bit, okay? Now, I've experimented with this recently, and you know what? I actually like the colors that I'm putting out with this. It doesn't really affect my performance at all. Not at all, I don't think. And I have it on Vivid Gaming. That's something new that I tried. All right, what else we got here? Custom color, color deficiency, I have all that disabled. Custom resolutions, I'm not going to play with that today. I was going to do that earlier and I decided not to. Everything else is the same. Okay, video, I have it on Vivid. That's just something preferential. Hotkeys, you know, sometimes we want to jump into this screen if we're in the middle of a gaming. Take a note. I usually use just this one. Alternate R. I just jump into the setting. Alternate R. I'm not going to learn all this other stuff. but keep your hotkeys on. Like right here, let's just give you an example. You're gaming, and you don't want to open this setting in game. You want to be on the fly. Here you go, right here. F11 for me, alternate U. If you want to play with these, you want to try like the anti-lag. I said sometimes you got to switch in game. Alternate L, that helps you. This is what you would need to know for gaming. These are those hotkeys. Keep your hotkeys enabled. Excuse me. Keep them enabled. If you don't care about using any of this on the fly, then shut it off. No big deal. When I stream on this card live, that's what this setting is for. This is what it's telling me, what my accounts are, in case you guys didn't know. I don't use AMD Link. My record and stream settings. So some of you might have been waiting for this. So let's do it. Real quick, you have a recording section on the left side and you have a live streaming section on the right side. Okay? So the recording section is not live. It's what you want. You're playing a game, you're playing for 5 hours, you record some stuff, you edit it later, nobody sees it. You edit whatever you edit, you put out, boom. Live streaming is self-explanatory. So let's go over it. My record desktop, I kind of put this on and off, depends. I keep it off when I'm recording. I keep it on when I'm recording because I'm the one seeing this stuff. So if I start recording my video game, right, or anybody records their video game using the AMD record and stream setting, sometimes it takes time to set up the game, set up the AMD setting, hit your hotkey alternate R to open up your streaming setting, your record setting, and then start your gaming, and then the game's kicking on. Sometimes, it takes a while, so it will record your process of doing that. So keep in mind that if you have this on and you start recording or even live streaming, that everything getting up to the game itself, while you're clicking, checking out sites, looking on computer stuff, is going to be recorded as well. If you show indicator, a lot of people don't put this on. I put this on. You know why? Because when you put it on and you start recording, it tells me that I'm still streaming or I'm still recording. There'll be a little mic and a little number on the very top left where my mouse is in my screen when I'm gaming. Sometimes you might see it. If you see some of my videos, you might see that. That's what that is. That tells me that, okay, I'm still streaming. I'm still doing this. I got to make sure that I shut it off or whatever it is. If I'm going to do something else besides that, whatever it is. It's a privacy thing for me. But show indicator, I like it on because I want to know when I'm recording. Sometimes I might think that I shut the computer recording down and I didn't. And if I look at my top left, oh shit, I'm still recording. I remember. That's what that's for. That helps me remember what I'm recording, that I still have something recording. Because sometimes you get so involved. You think that, alternate R, I stop recording, I go back to what I'm doing. You think your game is over, but it's not. You're still recording, and you're kind of going to screw yourself. Okay, recording profile is custom, obviously, because I have everything checked. Recording resolution, I use in-game. I'm recording at 60 frames per second. This is my recording, not my live stream. I'm maxed out with everything. And I did this recently in the last couple of videos I think I did. I started using this, and my video is a little clearer. I use HEVC because that's the new standard now. It used to be AVC, which is still acceptable, but HEVC, there's the 264 version and the 265, and YouTube recommends, I think, the 264. So I keep it on HEVC. Okay, it's a better encoding type. It keeps your, how do I put this? AVC is a bigger file size, and HEVC is a smaller file size. So, and it's a better quality. Audio channel, stereo, separate microphone track. Okay. Some people like this on, I guess when they're editing and they need to cut out stuff, or it's easier to separate and use just the recording track. Keep this off for me, and I make it's just one file, one combined file. My record microphone, obviously it's enabled. My microphone level, I have it at 86. I kind of vary a little bit depending on how far away my mic is. Sometimes I don't know, I sound loud when I record it and then it's low when I put it out. So I'm still working on that myself. Push to talk I have disabled. Sometimes when you're playing a game or you're doing something, you hit the button by accident, and next thing you know, you're on the mic talking when you're not supposed to be talking. You're supposed to be videoing something, and you're actually talking. And you're like, ah, damn it, now I got to edit that out. Audio boost off. I don't need it on. I really don't. I just keep it off. I have good audio, so, and I think most of us do anyway. Now on the live streaming.